Oh, you thought it was bad for these top Toronto Maple Leaf stars? You thought that when it came to Auston Matthews and Mitch Marner, they've already received the brunt of what they could receive? You thought it couldn't get any worse? Nah, it just did. And here's the thing. I get it. It's been a hot topic in the NHL community. Everybody's talking about Toronto. They had a 2-0 series lead against the Florida Panthers in round 2. They were, for the most part, looking pretty strong. But a subtle overtime loss in game number 3, followed by a shutout of a loss in game number 4, not to mention the total disappointment and embarrassment that was game number 5, 6-1 on home ice, Mitch Marner with the beautiful no-look backhand pass to exit the zone and give the Panthers a clear odd man rush. It's been bad for the Maple Leafs in terms of these top dogs. Everybody is criticizing Auston Matthews, who, in this playoff run, only has 2 goals in 11 games. In fact, Auston Matthews, if you add last season's goal production in the first round to this season's, he has only 3 goals in his last 16 Stanley Cup playoff games. Now sure, assists, those are great. Getting some extra points and being a defensive forward is great. I won't deny the fact that Auston Matthews has looked pretty reasonably good defensively. But this guy's making $13.25 million a year to do better than that. He's getting paid to score goals. I saw a post on Twitter, it was like, hey, Auston Matthews is playing well defensively, you say. Congrats, you're paying $13 million a year for Philippe Deneau. And that kinda got a chuckle out of me, but that's not the reason we are making this video. Oh no, 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 no. Everybody on YouTube has been harping about Matthews and Marner. But you know who else has been harping about him too? One of the gosh darn worst teams in the entire KHL, the Kunlun Red Star. Now, if you go over to the KHL standings for this previous season, they actually weren't the worst team in the league. They were, what is that, the 6th worst team in the league? Lada Togliatti, Barry Sestana, HC Sochi, Vityaz, and Amur were all worse than the Kunlun Red Star, who finished last in the Tarasov division with 62 points in 68 games played. They had a minus 64 goal differential, and they're noted by many as being one of the more poorer quality KHL teams. They're no Barry Sestana, but still, they're pretty bad. And because of all the Marner and Matthews conversations that have been poking fun at how ineffective their play has been, it's been a common meme over the past day and a bit to say, hey, Mitch, you better learn freaking Chinese, man. He wants so much gosh darn money on his next contract, but Maple Leafs fans are sick of it. They don't want to pay him a cent. Steve Dangle said he wouldn't want Marner on his team for free. And with that in mind, it's like, hey, get ready to learn Chinese. And everybody has been posting that video of Marner and Matthews speaking in Mandarin, and everybody's been memeing about it. All the comments on this particular video. Marner puts more effort into learning Chinese than he does in games 5 to 7. That Rantanen deal is looking pretty good. Send both of these guys to China. Those are all comments that are being posted on this 100,000 view video of Marner and Matthews speaking Chinese. But it got even crazier when you saw this post made by Nick LaFlame on Twitter. He posted a graphic here. The Kunlun Red Stars select Auston Matthews and Mitch Marner. Ni hao. And it turns out the Kunlun Red Star themselves replied to it, we're okay with our current roster. Not interested in these gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Talk about that, eh? The Kunlun Red Star, one of the poverty franchises in the KHL, the Chinese KHL team, is literally going out there and talking smack about Auston Matthews and Mitch Marner. And this tweet had 16,000 views, a lot of people going out there and responding to it. One of the top replies says, yeah, you guys wouldn't actually say that if they could play for you. And then the Kunlun Red Star responded, yeah, you wouldn't actually say that if you knew how cool Spencer Fu and Austin Wong are. So, with all of this embarrassment being put on full display, everybody on the radio, everybody on TV, everybody on YouTube, on social media, everybody's been talking about how the Leafs suck and how this is embarrassing and all that. But I think this is the most embarrassing thing of all. How two of the top paid players in the NHL, one of them, by the way, his contract's expiring soon. It's probably going to become even higher into the NHL's AAV history books. Two of the top paid players in the entire gosh darn league, whose reputation has been soiled so poorly by every single playoff series they play, are now getting roasted by the Kunlun Red Star. They're saying they wouldn't want these guys. And of course, it's a joke, it's a rib. If Auston Matthews said tomorrow, I am terminating my NHL contract and I'm taking my talents over to China. If he said that, then obviously the Kunlun Red Star would be happy with that and he'd probably get 50 goals in his sleep in that league. Of course, he'd only get those 50 goals up until the playoffs starts, hey. But ultimately, to see it get this bad, everybody is ribbing on the Toronto Maple Leafs. And that does not even exclude some of the worst KHL teams. Now, I know semantics and everything play a part in it because Kunlun Red Star, everybody says, oh yeah, they're the team from China, which is technically how it is. They're based in Beijing, China, but they do play elsewhere. Usually in Moscow nowadays. It's kind of interesting how they are in that spot where they are a Chinese hockey team, but they play a bunch of their home games in Russia. But whatever, it's the KHL. We're not going to go out there and think too hard about how their rules are set in place. But anyways, Game 6 of Toronto and Florida is on today. And we will see if the Florida Panthers have it in them to ultimately slay the Dragon. Nope, just kidding, not slay the Dragon. They have beaten the Toronto Maple Leafs in round 2 in the past. They know what it's like to win. They literally won the Cup last year. If they're able to just use all the momentum from that game number 5, a dominant, persevering, triumvirate, relentless game number 5, and use even a fraction of that against this Maple Leafs team that's playing like garbage, then welcome Carolina. It's going to be the Canes and the Cats in the 3rd round as we sit here and wait for Winnipeg and Dallas to conclude. But with that in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Of course, if Matthews and Marner pop off, if they score a hat trick, then we'll all be watching game number 7 with our eyes glued to the television screens. But the Maple Leafs, after having a 2-0 series lead, to get put into this spot where they're down on the ground, getting rear-naked chokeholded, they can't move, they can't wiggle around, they can't get that elbow tuck back in there, they can't do anything, it looks like they are suffocating. It's gotten so bad that the Kunlun Red Star won't even accept Marner and Matthews. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. I can't believe I just said that as the thing before the outro of the video. And bye.